bread. Which one's gonna be stronger? We're gonna find out right now with the punch test. Safety first here. Okay, so for these tests, we have the classic sandwich bread. We've got Montreal-style bagels, being in Montreal. We got some rye, Italian panini-tile thing, country loaf. This is my prediction for the strongest bread. And we got this multi-grain, it's bougie bread, okay? It's fucking bougie bread, okay? Lettuce, we got some provolone, some Swiss, we got all the meats, mortadella, roast beef, ham, turkey, salami, all that stuff. We got some steaks and bacon, condiments. We're gonna find and make the most delicious and most durable sandwich right now. All right, for the first test, we're gonna test to see which bread is the most durable. You might think a bagel isn't a sandwich, but like fuck you, it is, okay? So we have this Montreal-style bagel, the Italian bread, the country loaf, the normal bread, the whole wheat fancy bread, and the rye bread. And now you're probably wondering what the first test is, and of course it's punch test. There's a lot of data here to unpack. Here, come here, let's look at this data. This sandwich didn't do that well. This one did pretty well. I thought this one was gonna shatter a bit. The bagel's actually in really good form too. But you're probably thinking what the next test is, and that's gonna be this. This is a lot of data we just gathered here. Some of these held up pretty well. Again, the bagel held up pretty well, but I do think we can't count the bagel as a sandwich. Actually, I do agree with that. This country loaf, other than the first layer though, it looks like the bottom layer of bread is in decent shape. Look, we unpack this. Yeah.
That looks like shit.
Shut the fuck up. This is my test, okay? All right, I think the classic bread, the country loaf bread, and perhaps the whole wheat and the rye did okay. This bread did well against the crushing, but not the slicing. So it's a little bit tough to decide from this. Looks like we're gonna have to do a couple more tests, but I think within these realms of bread right here, that's our golden bread. All right, interesting data we just got there, but I know what you're thinking. What about the armored pieces of the bread? Of course, the end pieces are stronger. We're gonna test out, and on everybody's mind, of course, the reverse sandwich. One piece of bread, lettuce, reverse. Which one's gonna be stronger? We're gonna find out right now with the punch test. That's interesting. I didn't expect it to explode as much as it did, but of course we have to do the other test. Yeah, I mean, who would have thought, right? Who would have thought? Hats off, guys. I think the armored bread clearly is the winner of the breads at this point, but you only get one chance at this per loaf. So I think we're gonna mainly exclude it out of the other tests, but for now I think it's time to move on to the next test, huh? All right, so we got a decent idea of which breads are the strongest that you could use on a sandwich, but also we have to do the topping test and the condiment test. First off, torch test. This is gonna be good. All right, now for the torch test. We've got to see which bread is stronger. What better way to check than by toasting it or, lighting it on fire. You good, you safe? That's interesting.
Get ready with that flamethrower. Incoming!
Wow, that bread is doing really well. What do you think?
Personally, I think you're a fucking idiot.
I'm quite surprised at the power of this. Here, let's just stand on one and torch one, see how long it takes.
It kind of smells like shit though so far.
Yeah, it does smell a bit like ass, huh? That one's doing pretty well. What about this one? Interesting. Interesting indeed. That one's just not igniting whatsoever.
Yeah.
What the heck?
All them GMOs.
What? Wow. That's interesting. Wow, look at this data here. Looks like these two breads didn't do as well as I thought they were gonna do. I thought this one was gonna be strong, but it actually looks like it burnt the easiest, which is weird. These breads are a lot softer. I thought they would toast up a lot better, but that's barely noticeable, right? That's, you know what? Here, wait. Let me just. Not good.
Not good data?
Oh, good data, not good sandwich.
Oh, good.
So much propane. So toxic. Filming it? Fuck you. Let's try to get one fully on fire.
I need to get a bit of the lettuce too.
Yeah, that one's taking forever, dude. That bread is strong. That's the best one for the fire test, clearly.
It's the best smelling one so far, though.
I mean, minus the propane. I don't think it's gonna light, bro.
It's cooming. What?
It
It's cooming. Look at the sides.
is kind of cooming. Oh, it is cooming.
That's a toasty bread.
That's a toasty bread. I would not suggest eating that. Oh, right up. Safety first here. We're all about safety. That seemed pretty impossible to light up. I don't know about you. I don't know what you think, but I think we're gonna have to do another test. Hey guys, Joda here. And for the next test, we're gonna do a bit of a body slam onto these sandwiches. Again, I don't think the toastness is gonna affect it too much, maybe except for this one. But we're just gonna let's see what happens, huh? Shall we? So back it up here. Body slam test. Whew. That's interesting. Look at that. Wow. It didn't do anything to the sandwich whatsoever. I thought it would do more. Even on this one, I may have missed this one, but yeah, this one definitely felt the brute force of it. So, so far, if you want to body slam and light your bread on fire, the country bread's the best for the fire, and the Italian ciabatta bread is best for if you happen to body slam on a fucking sandwich. I don't know, dude. Like the video. Shut up. So now we're doing the topping test. We have a couple of sandwiches laid down on the bottom, which you'll see on the other camera right now. Yeah, we have some ham and cheese, an American, right? Italian with mortadella, salami, provolone cheese, salami sandwich, and a reverse sandwich. So we're gonna see how this goes, the airsoft test. All right, interesting. Lots of interesting data we just got there. The reverse sandwich, obviously you beat it up a little more. And I don't think, let's see how the actual bread did. Again, we already tested it. Yeah, it's not good, huh? I think adding 2 layers of bread, right? I think adding 2 layers of bread is definitely stronger. So don't do the reverse sandwich. Now you know, right? Now you know. Ham and cheese, let's see the condition of the ham and the cheese. I mean, what? The ham stopped it. That's bulletproof ham, dude. Ham and cheese is faring well. What about on the rye bread? Do we have the same result there? Even better.
A little ham right there.
Even stronger though. So the rye is definitely stronger. There's a lot of ham.
Level 4 plate ham.
And where the heck is it? It stopped in the first pieces of ham though. I don't know how that's possible.
It's compressed ham.
It's compressed ham, huh? Now for the Italian style. We got some mortadella, some salami, and some cheese.
That's still eatable.
It is still eatable. It's stuck in this, look, right there.
Well, now that you're fingering it, it's not eatable.
And again, this one, you only hit once, but look, it's stuck in the bread. The rest, completely, you know. No. That's a sandwich. Now for the salami sandwich, it made a few holes in the salami, but again, it didn't go through the whole sandwich. What? These sandwiches are strong or the gun is weak. So I think the Italian is definitely the stronger of the sandwiches. If you look here, it definitely had the least amount of damage. It was like a wall. As soon as it touched this, it was just a wall. There's just BBs embedded in there. Now you know. Now you know. An Italian sandwich is the most durable. So far, we have a couple more tests. Very common type of sandwich.
Got the mustard and ketchup.
That's the Australian sandwich. Now, before we move on to the final test, I think it's time that we do a bit of a damage assessment here. If you look over here, these were the ones that went through the initial gauntlet, the punch test and the knife test. We found a few of the fancier breads, like the ciabatta, the country loaf, the rye. Those ones did pretty well. When it came to the torch test over here, again, the Italian was the worst when it came to the torch test, but the best when it came to smashing, because we smashed these ones as well. That was interesting. The country was, this one, the country loaf was like unburnable. We had the torch on it straight for like 20 seconds and nothing. It was still edible, so that was interesting. There's a spider on there, that's cool. Now,
There's a spider?
yeah, there's a spider right there. Or a mosquito. These were the airsoft tests. It's hard to gather that much data. Just kidding. So obviously the rye Italian sandwich won. Mortadella, provolone, salami, lettuce, that and mustard. Just the strongest you could do. So far, I think, what do you think? I think the winners are a rye Italian sandwich. So if we're looking at raw damage in terms of like blunt force and slicing, the rye bread is the way to go. But if you're in a situation where you may or may not be on fire, you definitely want to do the country loaf. That's the way to go. Now onto the final test. Now for the final test, we're gonna do a very relatable scenario. Let's say your house is invaded by a group of ninjas and the only thing you have to defend yourself is with a sandwich. Which sandwich do you choose? Which sandwich will survive the ninjas' attacks the best? We're gonna find out right now. Ninja test. The Italian classic. I know, it's just a bargain, it's funny. Hey, that's Data. The dog just ate some of the Data.
He's barking at you because he doesn't want you to hurt the food.
Yeah, that's why he's barking. Holy shit. That's a lot of interesting data there. So if we look over here, this was from the Italian classic over here. We did get a bit of data all over the wall. It's pretty interesting. The rest of the sandwich is right down here. The actual toppings, as we said before, the innards, these are the strongest, guaranteed. These are the strongest innards, right? The Italian classic, that's the way to go. I think the provolone cheese really glues it together, provides that strength. The ham and cheese was strong, but it is American cheese. It's a little less strong. You know, we tried it with the Swiss, didn't change anything. When it came to the actual survivor of the kick test though, I think the Italian, but whether it was toasted or not, I think that one survived. It's barely touched. Like, it just fell out. You just have to just put it back. How much stuff was in that? Not much was left. That was from the other test.
Yeah.
In terms of the actual kick test, that's fine. And then the ham and cheese on the rye bread, not in a bad shape. There's a bit of a hole. I don't know how I made a hole. Maybe my toe hit it.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, I'm not sure. But
Or from my thumbs holding it.
oh, maybe you were iron gripping that shit and it flew out. Well, now you know, if you're being attacked by ninjas, Italian, ciabatta bread, that's the way to go. Wow, we just learned so much. I don't know what I learned. What did you learn? I learned sandwiches are more durable than I thought.
I guess it's learning, but I think I lost more brain cells than gained.
Okay, shut the fuck up. Okay, so based off of all the tests that we have so far, it seems like the country loaf is the best if you're in any situation involving fire. If not, you want to go for a rye bread or the Italian ciabatta bread. Those are the two strongest breads in terms of blunt force and slashing attacks. That's the way to go. And we found out if you use sandwiches as armor for airsoft, you'll actually do pretty well. So I think next time I go airsofting, I'm gonna coat myself in sandwiches instead. See if they let me in. I think it should work. Maybe a cheaper alternative. Save money. Yo, see, we learned a lot today. we learned a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot of shit learned. If I was ever a firefighter, I think I might trust myself covering in a bodysuit of country loaf over the fire armor.
Also, new fire-resistant insulation in the walls.
Yeah, just load up that drywall with some country loaf and you're gonna be fine.
Might smell a bit after a couple of weeks, but
Just don't tell your landlord and don't be a contractor. Now we know what the most durable sandwich is. Tune in next week for another episode where we're gonna durability test another thing, which I will reveal in the Discord. Join the Discord now, like and sub the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you next week.